Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Dose. Dose. Yes, Dose. The Magic Man, Mark Hutchins here, joined by Mr. Jereme Kleven.
That was weak.
That's a weak
Real
dolphin.
weak.
Is that the flipper?
Is that
Flipper Friday?
Everyone thinks it's a dolphin, but it's supposed to be. Isn't that kind of like a country thing, like a cowboy thing? Like,
Well, cowboys do, but that's also what.
like that?
Come on, now.
I know you don't have your boots on. I didn't get that one.
But it's
My
also
grandpa still does it when he walks around his truck.
yeah.
easy, girl.
See, that's what I'm going for.
It's a way to get. It's actually the way to get a horse's
He's
attention.
92. He's a whole story in himself.
Oh, the Louis. We can talk about the
we
Louis
can talk
today.
about the Louis.
But Flipper also goes. And Byron, we didn't forget about you. You're behind the glass. Hello, Byron.
Hello, Byron.
Happy
in the
Friday.
house.
Is it Friday?
It is Friday.
Happy Friday.
Where are you? Yeah.
Oh, they all roll together.
I know they do.
Tomorrow I'm off, so I'm good.
We got
time.
Jeff Sibbach and Phil Sexton back in the house.
What? Thank you,
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Can I say we're having fun here?
I can.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
Can I say I'm having fun?
Nicer.
Yeah, right. Feels
Hang out with the
good.
boys from the
Stretch it
Dose.
out. Yeah.
I like it.
It's great, man.
Yeah. Where's
How long
the
you
orange
guys-
vehicle with the 2 zeros on the top? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
Jump
exactly.
in many a window. How long you guys been partnered up?
Coming up on 4 years.
All right, but I mean, come on. I love to tell the story, right? So here we are at John Hall. It's 2007 or 8, right? So Jim Sexton would speak at the broker meeting. He would tell you about the monthly statistics to keep everybody up on the market. And Marge Lindsay would come in at the time. She was with John Hall. Now she's with Bless USA. Hey, Marge, great job.
Hi, Marge.
And yeah, love her. And she would talk about Binger strategies and contract issues in the other half of the month. Right. So then like one day, like Phil walks in with his dad and I'm like, boy, we got that kid coming in here, right? Like, what the hell is he going to teach us? So then the one I remember is him coming in. And
I was
he's like,
wondering the same thing at the time. Just so you know.
he's setting up the projection show, and we're, and the average age at John Hall was kind of like a 55 and older community. It was like 60s, anyway. But Phil would be up there. The one I remember the most is him talking about Yelp. Right? Like, I don't know what year it came out. He's like, you should use Yelp. You could join it. So
Hate Yelp.
I was, I don't know, in my 30s. So I would go home and like, I would jump online. I'd come back about it. And the next month he would come in and I'd be like, I friended some people and I did this and I would do that. And we would have this active conversation. And that went on for like 6 years.
Wow.
Because no one else was involved in the conversation, right? Like we're talking about, he'd be like, hey, Jing, I go to jing.com and download it and have to take screen capture. And like, he's talking about email marketing. And I'm like trying all these different tools. I'm like, that sucked and that didn't work. And that was awesome, Phil. I got
To give Jeff some credit, like we would go to all the different offices. So every Tuesday, Jim and I it was the road show then. And when I'd come back to Scottsdale, I knew that whatever I talked about the previous month, Jeff would give me feedback on. Right. So it was a good spot for me because I could have dialogue. And then everybody else would just listen to the conversation that Sibbach and I was having about whatever the tools were that month.
Right. Most aren't going to do anything, but
Absolutely,
he was
but
doing it. Right.
As you know, when you're teaching, it's fun when
Right.
the students actually apply the stuff and then give you
Right.
feedback.
Yes.
It helps you grow. And it was awesome.
So then in 2011, I started creating, I was pushed by a lender that I work with in the try and, because I'm like, hey, you know what? I create a lot of leads, but I'm kind of getting tapped in what I do. I'm just full. I'd like to create leads for somebody else. And I'm like, I got a business plan. I'm going to, get it done by the end of the year. And it's March. He's like, well, why don't you do it this month? And I'm like, shit, then I'm going to need a business plan. Like this was the whole kick me in the ass. Like, let's get going, Jeff. So, I drew up a business plan on how it was called Relfi, and I was going to create real estate leads from internet. So
It was a catchy acronym.
version 1.
Version 1.
So I was going to create websites, so I went and we had sushi together. Right?
Yeah.
It was at 11 or 12.
It was at 11:30. You were running late.
No, 2011 or 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I thought that's what you were asking too. I'm like, wow, that's specific. You were wearing red.
No, so he reviewed my business plan because
And
Phil
it was
was
midnight.
But Phil was my consultant because whenever I had website troubles, I would go over and talk to him, and because I sold a lot of houses, I could sit down with him, have time with him, and he's a unique person because most realtors are people. And then you have pixel people that are the technology people, and I think that's the struggle. but Phil is that unique blend of that person that you can, because I mean, watching him relate to a lot of realtors and talk to them, you know, it's just the amazing that he could bring it all together for you in a simple conversation listen.
We've been having great conversations online and off so far.
Can I get a tissue?
Absolutely.
I gotta dry this up. Continue,
Seriously.
Jeff.
Keep going.
No, you're not just a behind the scenes guy.
No, but you know, so I started creating these websites, and it was an abomination. I spent $25,000. We only made $6,000, but that was like version 1. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to train these people to convert the leads, and that's when the team started and all that stuff. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe, you know, you could come work for me. And he told me what I had to pay him. And I was like, oh, well, maybe how about part-time? Because it's about, well, one of the core principles that we teach is about risk. And I was like, man, I'm not going to have a lot of sales in January. If I hire him before January, I don't know that we'll be able to make it through that month, and I'll be able to pay him, and then I'll have to fire him. And then shit, you know, that's not going to work out. And then like,
he goes, okay, how about 20 hours a week? Yeah. All right. I was doing consulting for different agents at that time. I'm like, sure, 20 hours a week. All right. So that'll take me 3 days, but I'm cool.
Cool with that,
yeah. And 3 days later, he was like, okay, let's go to 40.
Yeah.
right.
Sweet.
Well, yeah.
And then 3 months later,
he's like, I'm getting a job offer from Armless. This is what I need to make. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go broke, but we're going to hold and we're going to make it. And then he comes over and he's like, we need to change your website. And I'm like, I don't like you. I mean, we're not like, this thing works, right? Like, where are you coming? Well, because
he had just spent $30,000 on his website. And I'm like, cool, but it sucks.
I'm like, I don't know if you know, but I bought a custom website.
That's a good word, though. And it was hyper local.
Hyper local. Yeah. I just didn't know that when I got my first website that you also have to market the website. Right.
It doesn't work for you, right?
Yeah, like
magical.
When we create websites for agents, they come in
sell
and
magical
like,
websites.
yeah, we got this new website, and when does it start producing leads? I'm like, oh, okay, good, yeah.
When you start marketing.
Yeah, when it starts marketing.
Shocker.
It's simple.
It's simple. Yeah.
But we talked about that yesterday, just the hub of it and how everything we do is pushing people there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was about 4 years ago that we partnered up.
Yeah.
November, I guess, 3.5 years. And it's worked, I guess. You know, we get along. There's a little yin and yang that goes on.
Well, yeah, you got to have the yin and yang.
When we work at the office, and it's fun. We're having fun doing it, and it's growing. So then, hey, let's continue.
You guys are obviously doing something right. Obviously, the business is continuing to grow.
You're killing it.
You know, almost 100 million last year.
We're on pace to do 100 million this year.
Okay.
So, the first quarter.
Well, our goal's 125, so we're kind of falling short, is what he just told you.
Yeah,
but you put out an astronomical goal.
Yeah, okay, no, but we took the team out because in the goal to get to 100, because I was trying to list 100 houses this year and sell them all, because I think it's important that we try to also sell the houses. 50% of what we do is helping people get
I don't know
top
what
dollar.
you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
right? Nobody
bizarre.
talks. Yeah, right? Like,
You're not in the listing business?
No, I go down to the mastermind.
Oh, you don't get paid when you get a listing?
Yeah, exactly, right? But setting goals is very important, and we in the first quarter, because we listed 36 houses on our way to 100. Because I told my team, and in coaching, I'm like, you know, it's okay to go over your goal.
Right. Don't stop there, right?
Yeah.
Made my goal, kick back.
We're a third of the way there in a quarter amount of time, so we took everybody out to lunch. Yeah. So
Well, that's nice, you guys.
Yeah.
You took them to lunch.
just kidding. And they got a little bonus.
There you go. That's what I wanted.
Now it's cool.
Mark, I said they were listings. Listings don't make us money. Sales make us money, right? Like, let's let them
you got
close.
paid on listings.
No, we had a good.
That's
the first
cool.
No,
quarter
we
was
get
good.
invited to come here with listings.
Yes.
You're selling your listings for top dollar, right? Are they top dollar for the market? Are they top dollar for what you list them for?
Right.
Are you
How,
good? Are you
Jeff?
good marketers, or do you just price well?
Okay, so let me give you an example. So there was a house
question.
for sale out in the Cactus Corridor, and the home was listed for $915. It started at $938, and then it reduced down to $915. It was on the market for 180 days. So I came in, talked to the seller, advised them on what they needed to do, sold it first day on the market, listed at $925. and it's sold for $915. As we know as agents, if your house is on the market for 180 days, the odds of you getting a full price offer after 100 days, probably it's going to sell in that market. It's 96% of list price at $900,000. Like that's the average. So, I believe that was top dollar, right? But what I do is because I use this, it's what they said in the Eamon article about me is I see 800 to 1,000 homes a year, right? So I've been in over 20,000 homes. So
physically been in.
Right.
You looked at on the internet?
Yeah, no, we interview we've interviewed, I don't know, about 300 agents over the last year as they come in and talk to us about the team, and they talk about internet marketing, they talk about building websites, all this stuff. And I want to raise the
Don't say the cliche, dude.
Okay, I'm
don't
not
say
gonna
the
say it.
bar.
All right.
Don't do it.
Don't say the bar.
No, but I just want to help educate
We wanna
agents in
improve
that
the level of realtors.
because what it
Raise
is
that
I
key,
become a
improve the
house expert. I am truly so when there's an expired listing, I can go in and talk to the seller and tell them exactly what they have to do to get it sold for a higher price than their previous agent couldn't sell it for. It's knowing what the difference is, but I mean that is true value. Right? Versus just trying to get a listing and then listing it for a price above and then beating the seller up on the listing price. Like to me, those days are going to move out and the days of us being advisors are going to move in, but we first have to be experts first on what we're talking about. It's bummer.
So how many have you seen? What was that number again?
20,000
Total? Okay, so you've seen
it's probably about the number we have is closer to like 15,000.
So how do you do that?
Different ones because I used to as a buyer's agent, I would go see the house as a preview.
Yeah.
And then when I take someone to it, that's called a showing. But I've been in that house twice, so that's how I get the 20,000 number. But individual houses, I mean, it's about 1,000 for 14 years. So, but I mean, in 2008. I was not selling a lot of houses. I had a preview, right? When somebody would tell me they're looking to buy a house between 500 and 700,000 in an area, there'd be like, 200 listings, right? So it was Diana, who was my assistant at the time, she'd set them up and I'd see like 50 in a day and 50 in a day. Like, I don't know. When I hear people talk about it's always the goal talking about getting listings and getting more business. But I think if we start to put the consumer in front of us, because my goal when we're working with the buyer is to find them the best house, not wait for the phone to ring when they found one themselves. Because what's happening is, and this is Real Estate 2020 as well, is the brokers are devaluing their offering because they're doing less work now. Right? As a buyer's agent in 2005, because there was no photos on the internet, we would have to go out and see the houses for our clients. But now they're like, go shop on your own, right? Like, all those agents that let their buyers come to my open house without them are devaluing their service because they're just providing the contract service.
That's what I talk
and
about.
I think in the future that might change the pay because I'm busting my ass to help this seller get top dollar. I'm going online. I'm getting these consumers to come to me. I mean, we had one at 61st and Cactus, and I had 5 offers. We sold it for $50,000 over asking price.
But we had, a part of that story, the asterisk there is we had a full price offer before it went to the MLS. And then the decision was, do we accept it or do we go to the MLS anyway to see what we can do for them?
Right, because do you as an agent, if you're really trying to do the best thing, if you get a full price offer the first day, are you patting yourself on the back, go to the seller, we should sign it? And I was like, no, I think we can get more. Like there was more demand in the marketplace, even though the highest sale ever in the subdivision in the last 3 years was 950. The house was 1,500 square foot bigger than my house. And we sold it for $25,000 over the highest comp. And that's why price per square foot doesn't make sense because that house was 1,500 square feet larger. How could I sell mine for more and get it appraised? The reality is those both principles. I'm confused.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Did he trip over his own words? Never.
We can't edit because this is live.
Oh, good. All right. But the goal for us is
we
to
get
do
what
the
you're
best
saying.
job for the consumer, but it has led to an exploding business. That's why we keep on,
that's
last
what you're
year I did
focused on.
47 million. This year we did 58. Or last year, for 2014, we did 47 million. 2015, we did 58 million in my business. And then we're on pace now because we got a lot more listings to go higher.
But your focus, like Jeremy was going to say, I think, is that you're trying to get the seller the top dollar. That's why your focus is where it needs to be. And I think that's why you do it so well, is because you're not looking at, like you said, price per square foot. You're looking at the seller and going, oh, okay, man, you're hiring me because you want to sell your home, but you also are hiring me because you should be able to get the most amount you can potentially get from a buyer coming in to buy it.
And you also know the numbers. I mean, I know you're a numbers freak. You know, when I say that the most positive ways. Yeah. And I say that in the most positive way possible. But I mean, you are adding that value because you do know the numbers, you do know the statistics and the data.
Can I expand on the freakness of him? Because he's kind of a detail freak in general.
Okay, yeah.
You got anything, Mark? What else are we going to say? This is great.
But I mean, you are up in your value.
Can you kick me in the back of the head while he's punching me in the stomach?
Usually I'm the target, Jeff. Usually I'm the target.
That's okay.
But he's got his item. I mean, the list that you have of the 57 items that causes a house to sell for slower or for less money, right? I mean, like he is just detail oriented on everything that he does.
57 items.
Right. So if this house is the same square footage, the same builder, like on the same street,
right.
If it has one of these 57 items that the other house doesn't, it will sell for less than the house that it's compared to.
Do you have this written up somewhere that people can have access?
Yeah, it's cool. That's what he said. It's a list.
Yeah.
It's a list.
I mean, do you have? I mean,
Jeff keeps everything in his head.
I guess the question was
that's
like,
our other topic is
where can people find it? I guess is a question.
Oh, that's a golden list.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll do a class at your thing. If they come to the class, I'll provide the list. The problem I have with giving stuff to people is then they don't read it.
Yeah.
Like we provide stuff on our website for our agents. And then in class, when I mention it, I go, ooh, and if you want, there's this. And they're like, oh, can you send that to me? I'm like, you already have free access to it. It's online, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sitting right there.
Or the book of scripts that we get when we go to different seminars and we read page 1. Even though we got the book, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm not going to get through it. But when it's yours and you own it, there's a different level of
It's true.
of believability in what
But
you
for
do.
the Magic Man and his partner Jereme, we would
right.
love to provide it for you.
Hey,
It's only
that's
though
the
that
spirit.
they got to come to our class.
All
Okay.
right. All right. We need to look
Well,
at the
then we're gonna
schedule
do that.
still. Yeah. Because
Kelly, get on it.
Kelly, where are you when we need you? Yeah.
She's
Book it.
right there.
Book
Yeah,
it now.
she should be.
Thanks, Kelly.
Book it now, Kelly.
Good to see you.
That's good stuff. You guys gonna be back? Are you guys gonna be back next week? You guys spending the weekend together with us?
A little longer, sure.
Okay. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
longer.
We'll,
All right.
we'll let you back for Monday.
I mean,
How
we're
about
just
that?
getting rolling. Like,
No, I know it. I know you are. I know it.
getting warmed
I
up.
got a couple topics to talk about.
Let's dive into that. I want to start next week on. I know you touched a little on how the industry's changed, and you mentioned the Inman that you're going to be. Is it in an article or actually you're writing the article, right?
Well, I was profiled last week, and then now I'm going to be an author. So
Okay.
we're going to come out with
You're
we
gonna
started
be an
with.
author.
I have someone. I have someone that writes. I give her.
Ghostwriter?
I give her. Yeah, no, she
There
helps
you go.
me.
Ghostwriter.
Yeah, she's way smarter than me and way better writer because of the gobbledygook that comes out of my mouth. Right, we can't put that shit in print.
Yeah.
She's the translator.
It doesn't translate. That's what I was going to say. It doesn't translate.
Which is a skill. I mean, it's not, you can't just pick it up and,
Right.
She's been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about all that.
Make all that knowledge
Let's do
and
that.
expertise sound sensible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sensible.
So let's talk about that though.
Sensible.
The article that you're writing for Inman, or being an author for them, and really I know you were talking about all offline, and the three kind of principles or three points of how the industry is going to continue to change and evolve. I
Right,
think
how
it's great
agents,
stuff.
on the sell side will change, how buyers on the buy side will change buyers' agents, and then also how the brokers are going to change due to the impact of technology and the internet taking over our world, because it was muted because of the dark years. Right. Because, when you put the word foreclosure next to your listing, people just came to it, right?
Right.
You didn't have to put a lot of pictures out there. But now as we've given away everything that we have and it's online, the consumer now has the power. And if you want to learn more about that, tune in next time.
That's a good hook. Better
Guys,
than mine.
Have a great weekend out there. A great
Yes.
day, great weekend. Go out there and get it. Talk to you guys next week. See ya.